All right, good morning or afternoon, whenever you may be seeing this. This was actually done yesterday, but I'm recording it, say, the next morning. We're talking about word problems, and specifically, we're looking at systems of equations involving word problems, and we're going to look at number problems, age problems, and perimeter problems. So to start off, we generally want to look at a word problem situation, and we want to decide what is our x and our y. So in these number problems, if we're just looking at two different numbers, we can say x is the first number and y is the second number. So for me, that would mean, you could say that x is the greater one and y is the lesser one, but it doesn't really make a difference. So as I'm reading this on number 2, the sum of two numbers is 27, and their difference is 3. Well, that would tell me that x plus y is 27, and y plus, or x plus y is 27, and then x minus y would be 3. Again, you can solve this many different ways. I mean, you could do this by elimination. Eliminate the y's, add the x's. You have 2x equals 30, and then divide. If you were trying to set this up for the matrices, because you want to practice, then the matrix method would be right there, all set up and ready. You would just have you could do reduced row echelon form and have 1, 1, 27 for a row, and then 1, negative 1, 3 for a row, which is based on the numbers that are there on each equation. Press enter, and you could have your answer, which would be 1, 0, 15, 0, 1, 12, 15, and 12 would be the answers. If you decided to do it the other way, with the inverse method, you would want to make sure that you have it set up to where you say the coefficients raised to the negative 1 power times the answers will give you the final answers of 15 and 12. Okay. Looking at perimeter problems, the next type of problem, they're perimeter problems. You want to make sure that you always are saying perimeter of a rectangle is 2L plus 2W. Instead of using, say, x and y, I'll use L for length and W for width. Okay. So I'm reading here and I see I have perimeter, so I'm going to put 2L plus 2W. 2L plus 2W is, which means equals, 74. So I'm going to say 2L plus 2W is 74. Then I look and it says the next sentence, which would be the next equation, length L is equals 5 less than. That's where you have to be careful. When you see those words less than, whatever's in front of the words less than will come after the minus, because we think less than is a minus. So we're going to say minus 5. Then what comes after the words less than will go before the minus. So twice the width, which would be like saying 2W, will be before the minus. So really I have here 2W minus 5. Now, to do this for matrices, you have to get all the variables to one side. So that 2W in the second equation needs to be moved to the left-hand side. If it's a positive, it will become a negative. So my new equations are 2L plus 2W equals 74, and 1L minus 2W equals negative 5. From there, I could say, do the reduced row echelon form, 2, 2, 74, 1, negative 2, negative 5. Press enter, and see whatever answer you would get. Again, it's always that last column when you're doing it that way. If you did the inverse method, the only two numbers you see on the answer side would be the answers. Alright, then we get to age problems. Age problems basically say we want to make sure we read these carefully. In this case, Mr. Lopez is 1 year more than 3 times old as his daughter. 6 years from now, he will lack 1 year from being 2.5 times old as she will be then. Find each of their ages. Okay, on this, Mr. Lopez is 1 year more than 3. We're going to look for X is Mr. Lopez's age, and Y is his daughter's age. So that's what we'll say there. Now, it says Mr. Lopez, and it should kind of say like Mr. Lopez's age. We're kind of grammatically saying that. Mr. Lopez's age, so X, is equals 1 year more than. That's plus 1, 3 times his daughter, so 3Y. So 3Y plus 1. 6 years from now. 6 years from now basically really means it's like I'm saying X plus 6 and Y plus 6. I'm adding 6 to both of them. So essentially, when I say now he will, I am saying Mr. Lopez's age then, which would be like x plus 6, is lac 1. Okay, lac 1 would make me think like a minus 1. 2.5 times as old as she will be then. So I need to say 2.5 or 2.5 times the y plus 6. And that's what I write right there, because I'm multiplying that later age that she will be at. Okay. If I distribute, I'm going to have 2.5 times y plus 2.5 times 6, which is 15, but 15 minus 1 will give me 14. And I want to move the 3y over to the other side for the other equation, and I would get x minus 3y equals 1, and then there's the 2.5y plus 14. Move the 2.5y over, and move the 6 over. So I'm going to have x minus 2.5y, and I'm going to have 14 minus 6, which is 8. Then it's ready for matrices, and I can go ahead and solve. So here's the equation rewritten, so you can kind of see it better. And then it would just be reduced row echelon form would have it look like this: 1, 1, negative 3, negative 2.5, 1, 8. Press enter. And again, to get this, we're talking about menu, option 6, option 4 for the reduced row echelon form to get 1, 0, 43, 0, 1, 14, which means Mr. Lopez is 43 and his daughter is 14. If you did an inverse method, this is what it would look like, and then just press enter and you still end up with 43 and 14. Hopefully if there's any questions, you can post them to Edmodo and just let me know.